Mark Robinson is quoted as saying in this CNN article, quote, I came to a spot that was dead end but had two big vent covers over it. It just so happened it overlooked the showers. I sat there for about an hour and watched as several girls came in and showered. End quote. This is what Mark Robinson said on the pornography site Nude Africa in regards to watching girls shower at a gym. He also says, quote, I went peeping again the next morning, but after that I went back, the ladder was locked. So those 2 times were the only times I got to do it. Memories. End quote. In regards to a conversation that was taking place on Nude Africa, the porno site, the conversation was about celebrities and abortions. Mark Robinson posted, quote, I don't care. I just want to see the sex tape. End quote. In regards to another conversation that was happening on the porno site Nude Africa, they were discussing a case about a young woman that was intoxicated and was raped by her Uber driver. Here's what Mark Robinson contributed to that conversation. Moral of the story, quote, moral of the story, don't F a white bitch, end quote. We, the Black community, know how verbally abusive and aggressive this man has been towards the Black community, Black people, Black culture, and Black history. This man had the unmitigated gall to say that Black people owed the United States for reparations. Here's what Mark Robinson had to say in regards to former President Barack Obama doing a dedication, I think it was at the Lincoln Mall, regarding the Martin Luther King statue. Here's what he said. Quote, get that effing commie bastard off the National Mall. End quote. Because Mark Robinson had such negative things to say about Black people, Black history, Black culture, the Black community, someone accused him of being a member of the KKK. Mark Robinson's response to that was, quote, I'm not in the KKK. They don't let Blacks join. If I was in the KKK, I would have called him Martin Lucifer Coon, end quote. As I stated, Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina, Mark Robinson, was verbally abusive and aggressive to Black people, Black history, and Black culture. And so him being a Black man, there was conversation surrounding him regarding slavery. Mark Robinson was writing in a public forum where they were having conversations about Black Republicans. And that's when Mark Robinson said, quote, I'm a Black Nazi, end quote. And about a month later, in that same forum, I guess Mark Robinson decided he had more to say on the subject. So he went back and said, quote, slavery is not bad. Some people need to be slaves. I wish they would bring slavery back. I would certainly buy a few, end quote. Mark Robinson decided to continue his verbally abusive and violent attacks against Black people, the Black community, Black leadership in a different forum. This forum took place in March of 2012, where he made the comment letting the people in the forum know that he preferred the man with the mustache over President Barack Obama. Here's what he said, quote, I take Hitler over any of the shit that's in Washington right now. End quote. So in other words, he would take the man with the mustache, Hitler, over President Barack Obama. I mean, Mark Robinson has had continuous derogatory, racist, disrespectful, and denigrating comments regarding Black people, the Black community, Jewish people, Muslims. Yeah. And so, in another forum, at a different time, while discussing the Taliban, he referred to Muslims as little rag-headed bastards and said if Muslims took over, liberals would be the first ones to be beheaded. That's a direct quote. Quote and end quote. I mean, he's not going to leave out the LGBTQIA community. We've heard some of the recent comments that he's had to say in regards to transgenderism and gay and lesbian couples. But here, in a different form, it says it was a positive discussion that was taking place in regards to two men kissing because one had recently returned from deployment in the military. Okay. And so while all of the conversation surrounding the photo was positive, Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina, Mark Robinson, decided to chime in and say, quote, "That's some sick old ass FBS. F is the slur." And this is the man that Donald Trump praises. This is the man that Donald Trump says is much better than Dr. Martin Luther King. This is the man that Donald Trump says is better than fine wine. Donald Trump has gleefully endorsed this man as well as other MAGA nut politicians. They have supported this man, and the only reason why they praise this man, support this man, endorse this man is because he is so verbally abusive and disrespectful and denigrating towards Black people, Black history, Black culture, the Black community as a whole. But now that he's being exposed for being a sexual deviant, the great distancing has begun. Yes, MAGA Republicans are deleting their pictures that they posted with this man. They're deleting their tweets endorsing this man. Yeah, they are trying to distance themselves from this sexual deviant. All of those except for the North Carolina Republican Party. Yeah, they are choosing to stand by their man. Here's a statement that they put out. Mark Robinson has categorically denied the allegations made by CNN, but that won't stop the left from trying to demonize him via personal attacks. The left needs this election to be a personality contest, not a policy contest, because if voters are focused on policies, Republicans win on the election day. Democrats have no answers on the record-setting inflation and the open border policies that have both defined VP Harris's tenure in the White House and have decimated family budgets across North Carolina. The left can try to smear Mark Robinson all they want, but when voters go to the polls on election day, they are going to be asking one simple question: are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? The answer is overwhelmingly no, and that's why Republicans will win on November 5th. Yes, that's right. Their response to the exposing of Mark Robinson's sexual deviancy is to gaslight the American people. November 5th will soon be here. Check your voter registration status to make sure you are still eligible to vote. And make sure when you get into that voting booth, you are voting blue up and down the ticket.